Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. I feel like I have been just like an absentee landlord this week. I had so many plans to go live this week and to hang out with you guys while I had some time off of work. Instead, I have spent my time sick. I have been under the weather for several days now, as have been the various members of my household. And so the struggle is real, people. Let me tell you, the struggle is real. We were doing really well as a family unit. And then all of a sudden, the weakest link, the youngest and smallest amongst us, came down with an illness and then spread it to my wonderful wife, who then I think it went to my son after that, and dad was the last to fall. And the struggle has indeed been real. Most of us are feeling a lot better now. But yeah, Christmas was rough. The kids just started tearing through packages in the middle of the living room, and my wife and I just kind of sat there and just watched it happen because there was nothing we could do because we were both under the weather. So did Santa bring you a cold? Because Santa set me up, man. I'm going to tell you right now. Santa set me up. I actually bought for my daughter a 5-foot tall dollhouse that I got from Costco. If anyone is a Costco member, you probably know which dollhouse I'm talking about. It was basically a Barbie dollhouse. It was 5 feet tall. Bought the thing, and in the store it looked gigantic. And I was like, I'm going to be the dad of the year as I hoisted this 65-pound thing into the cart, rolled it to the front like a proud father. Got home and grabbed it out of the car, and immediately felt some regret. At purchasing it. Said it to my wife. And illness hit. That 5-foot dollhouse is still in the basement. It is going back to Costco. I'm going to get my money back. Let me say hello to some comic book soldiers that have joined here. Master Blaster says first in, last out. Holla at your boy. Bearded Comic Collector, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you, my friend. Tina is here. Tina, it's good to see you as always. Scrolling through some of the names here. Chris Barrett, how you doing, brother? I think you just heard how my Christmas was, man. It was fun because I was with family, but I have seen better days, and I may just bust out in a sweat here because I'm still having some issues controlling my own temperature. Steve from LA, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Scrolling down through the names. Tom, how you doing, man? It's good to see you, brother. Robert Santiago is in the house. Joseph is here. Mixtape Master is in the house. ICT Vinny H Town. Nick Wolf is here. Scrolling down. Aaron Finkelstein, how you doing, brother? Matthew, it is good to see you, my friend. And Old School Comics is in here. Hopefully the chat will actually behave so that I can follow along, but I'm actually going to open up YouTube here just in case we have any kind of issues. I want to make sure that I have a little bit of a backup here. Well, your wife got you an awesome stack of comics for Christmas, says Nick Wolf. Holla, that's awesome, brother. And it looks like, oh, wait a minute. Whoa. I see. Well, let me scroll through. I think it was ICT Vinny says, I think that was a huge house. I think I saw something like that. Costco will take anything back. Yeah, man. They have to take this one back. It was massive. And saving the dollhouse for an upcoming birthday. Oh, I didn't say it was going back anytime soon. But here's the thing. If it stays down there, then I feel an obligation to assemble this 5-foot house, right? And there's a lot of parts. It's 65 pounds. There's a lot of parts with 65 pounds and many stories and little rooms. And you know how that goes with all those little screws and the wooden dowel that you have to put in there with a little bit of glue. I see several hours worth of work ahead of me to assemble that thing. And Comic Book 62, how you doing? Wilson Ramos is in the house. It's good to see you guys. I'm scrolling down through the comments here. Jeffrey says, finally, another live one I can watch. It is good to see you, my friend. Scrolling down through some of the names, making sure that I didn't miss anything. So this is, what is this? I got a 42-pound IKEA that I had to carry through the whole store, my 105-pound frame. Brother, do they not have the carts in your IKEA? Because in my IKEA, they have the flatbed cart that you push, and then they have the buggy that you just kind of slide things underneath. I don't know why you were carrying that, brother. That's not a good move. That's not a good IKEA. I don't understand that store. That store has to be one of the most perplexing stores ever, because where is the front door? That is always my thought. Whenever I am in IKEA, I'm always thinking, where is the front door? To me, it seems like all roads always lead to that restaurant that they have there, but no roads ever lead to the front door so you can get out of that place. IKEA is a setup. I'm going to tell you right. Nick, well, shout out to you and your wife, brother. If she hooked you up with an awesome stack of comics, that is definitely a good thing. Sounds like you definitely had a Merry Christmas. Eric, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you. Matthew says his mom and grandmother got him an awesome stack of ASM books. Very nice. Very nice. Oh, stand up. Stand up. Matt, aka Thanatos, is in the house. How you doing, brother? It is good to see you. I haven't seen you in so long. He got a new girlfriend and moved to a new place and stopped talking to him. Thanatos, it is good to see you, brother. I think you dropped a new video. I think it was yesterday. It was not a comic book related video, but I think that you dropped a new video on your channel. I want to check it out. I was a little under the weather last night, and so it was a topsy-turvy night for me, but I definitely want to check out that video. It's good to see you, my man. As always, Thanatos is one of those guys that I immediately had a rapport with from the very beginning. We did a couple of videos and things like that early on, a couple of live streams early on with him, and this dude's living the life. He is definitely living the life. What is this? I am swimming in comics since Garage Con, and for Xmas, I got a bunch more. Can you overdose? It's impossible. It is impossible to overdose on comics. No, it's not. It's actually quite possible. You can OD on comics. I actually had a conversation with somebody the other day, and they were asking me a question about whether it was possible to actually be addicted to comics. And before I even responded to the person, I went over to my page. I did a quick search on my videos, and I immediately sent over to the person a link to a video. And the video was, I think the title was something like, are you addicted to comics? And he was like, of course you have a video on comic book addiction, because I do believe that it is a real thing. I do believe that the hunting for comics, the acquisition, the purchase of comics, the spending of money is definitely an addiction, right? We spend a lot of time looking at other people's collections on Instagram, on YouTube. We see there's a lot of things coming in that are basically saying, buy me, buy me, buy me. You have to have this thing. And I think we as collectors feel that pressure. We feel that pressure to buy those things. And so I definitely believe that there is an addiction. I definitely believe that you can overdose. You can definitely overdose where you just need to take a time out. And to be honest with you, I do it sometimes weekly. You know, I record a lot of videos. I do a lot of research, I do a lot of videos all at once. And then I take a couple of days, just walk away from it, because I need a moment to recover and to come back and have that same gusto. And people are always like, how do you keep putting out so many videos a week? Because I take these little breaks. Just like working out, you take your rest days, right? You take your rest days, because during the rest days is when you grow. It is not while you're in the gym that you're growing. It's actually in the rest days. And so your recovery time from comics is when I personally have great ideas about new videos to do and new content and stuff like that. And to that point, I'm actually going to try to put up a post on the community tab a little bit later today. And I'm basically going to maybe do a Q&A, maybe do another Q&A video. I may be soliciting ideas for additional videos and content to come out from the channel. I haven't quite decided, but I would say if you want to contribute to the channel in terms of show ideas, stay tuned to the community tab, because I'm going to put something up tonight. It's about 7:45 Pacific time right now. And as soon as this video wraps up, or as soon as this live stream wraps up, I'm actually going to throw that up there. So Glitter and duct tape. How you doing, brother? It's definitely good to see you. Scrolling down. What is this? Shad says, I got my Venom Lethal Protector #1 9.6 CGC in the mail. Merry Christmas to you, my friend. That is awesome. Definitely a cool book. I'm guessing you're talking about the red cover. That's definitely a cool book. I saw somebody post up the other day the gold cover, and I have seen that only in person one time and was tempted to buy it, but I did not. But definitely a cool book. And I heard a very tragic story once about a guy who back in the day ordered a bunch of these lethal protectors, and they had a bunch of these defective ones that came in, a bunch of these black covers that came in, and he told me the story is about him ripping up about 50 copies of these black covers that were basically printer's defects, ripped them up and threw them away. And my heart sank. My heart sank because that would have been huge had they actually held on. Web of Spider-Man #1 9.8 just arrived in the mail. Merry Christmas to you. He says, so fire, says Brandon. That's awesome. Definitely a cool thing. It's cool when stuff arrives, you know, nice little mail call right after the holiday. Scrolling down through some of the comments here, scrolling. I am way off on my comments, so apologize. Rush, how you doing, brother? What is this? Joe says, agree, recovery time needed on most things you do in life. Well said, my friend. That's why my children go to bed at 7:30 so that I can be nice to them the next day. Recovery time. Scrolling through the comments. What is it? Steve says, bank account rest day is much. Rest days are important for many things in life, so I definitely dig that. So let me scroll up through the comments. So as you guys can probably tell, I have changed my watch and ring, so we are doing something a little bit different. No more white watch right now. We are actually in a military mindset. We're going with the military band and the military watch. My man Thanatos is in here. He knows all about that. But this, in all seriousness, this is going to be no agenda, no attenda. So whatever you guys want to talk about tonight, that's what we're going to do. I'm playing a little bit of catch up because I haven't been around, and so I wanted to kind of jump on here real quick and chat with you guys a little bit. Mixtape Master says he just got a minor key in the mail, ASM 124, signed by Jerry Conway. That's what's up, with a certificate of authenticity, late Christmas gift for himself. Nothing like that, my friend. Actually, I just had a late Christmas gift show up from my wife. My wife actually, I think I told you guys, she actually bought me the laptop that I'm literally working on right now. And she bought it for me. And I was out of town at the time. I came back home. On my desk was this beautiful MacBook Pro. And she walks in the office. She stands at the door and she says, happy Christmas, happy birthday, happy Father's Day. She was like, happy Kwanzaa. She just started throwing out random holidays and was like, you are done. So I didn't expect anything for Christmas, but she actually hooked me up with several things, one of which actually arrived today. And as you guys know, my favorite band, Built actually went out of business. And so there is another brand of pants that I wear. I wear these to work called Barbell Apparel. I actually dig them. And they are moving into fitness apparel, right? So they do like work clothes and jeans and stuff like that. And they're going backwards into more athletic gear. Most people do athletic gear and then work forwards. And so she picked me up a really, really nice hoodie from them. And as soon as I pulled it out of the package, I was like, this is dope. And I threw it on. It's not military green, but it is a green, similar to like this ring. And I was like, this is nice. And I think I may have found a new brand. So I'm definitely excited about that. So, but congrats, Mixtape Master, on being able to pick up ASM 129. Definitely a cool thing. Omega Comics is in the house. How you doing, brother? He says, hi, my name is Omega Comics and I'm addicted. Yes, brother, I do know. I know you are addicted. We've spoken enough. I definitely know. Scrolling down through the comments here. What is it? Reggie, did you hear about the new high of 1.2 million for Marvel Mystery #1? You know what? As I was scrolling through my news feed right before I went live, I saw something about that, but did not read it. That is impressive, especially during the holidays. This is typically the time when records are not being set, but that's impressive, man. That is definitely impressive. Jeffrey says I took a 12-year timeout. TJ, how you doing? How you doing? It's good to see you, my friend. Happy Merry Christmas. Happy something. I don't know where I was going with that. Merry Christmas, my friend. Happy New Year, all that good stuff. No, we moved a couple of things around, man. If you guys haven't had a chance to watch the video that I dropped earlier today for Christmas, you definitely want to check that out. And then I dropped another video, which included some pretty awesome AOKs. And what's funny is the video that I dropped today was actually filmed before the video that I dropped yesterday, but whatever. Such is the case with my channel. Things oftentimes drop out of order. Like I have a video that I recorded 3 weeks ago. You guys still haven't seen it and probably won't for another week. But I made some changes to the background. If you guys can see that. How you doing?
Hey.
Yes. Where's your mother?
Mommy see. My purple juice.
Okay, go find mama. She'll get you some purple juice. This is what happens when you do live streams before the children are actually asleep. Right? But yeah, I made some changes to the back of the room back there, some of which you will actually see in the video that I dropped. I think this was today's video, and I think this one was actually yesterday's video. So check those out if you want to know what those things actually are. What is this? Venomized Beard, how you doing? He says, dude, comic book addiction is real. Sadly, I picked up an addiction to I feel for you and your wallet, my friend, because that is a dirty habit. Oh, Tina's talking about her addiction. Man, she has an addiction to some shiny objects. No doubt about that one. Let me scroll down to the bottom here. Story of my life. Go find my because you guys actually see her. Her hair was wild. I don't know if she was standing. Yeah, you could probably see her. Her hair is just wild. We got the kids. Got the kids bikes. Well, we got the boy a bike. I went into this place. I went into the first place. I walked in. I made eye contact with somebody. I said, I need a 16-inch bike with training wheels. He looks at me, says, we don't have those. I turned around and walked out. That was as quickly as I moved in and moved out. Walked into the next place. I looked the guy in his eyes, 4 feet from the door. I said, I need a 16-inch bike with training wheels. He said, they're right over here. We walk over. I see them. I said, I'll take that one right there. I was at the register in like 2 minutes. And I was walking out in 7. It was fantastic. Went, threw it back in the car, and I was driving home, and I sent my wife a message and said, got the bike on my way back. Well, we got the boy a really nice red bike, and then we realized that it was impossible to give one child a present without giving the other child essentially the exact same thing. So I cleaned up an old bike, an old pedalless bike. I don't even know what you call it, but it has no pedals. You sit on it, but you don't use your feet. And I cleaned that up for my daughter. We got her a new helmet. We gave her the old bike. She was a happy camper. He was a happy camper. We spent a lot of time earlier today at a park. Everybody's getting some fresh air, getting out of the house, getting some exercise and all that good stuff. So scrolling down through the comments here, Myth Lab music. I thought this said meth. My bad. Thank you, brother. I definitely appreciate those kind words. Shopping with a brother. That is the only kind of shopping I want to do, right? I do everything pretty much with a purpose. People are always like, you walk really fast. Yes, because I have things to do. Got my Garage Con t-shirt, 7 Conan comics and ASM 308 in the mail today. Very nice. I'm glad the Garage Con exclusive shirt arrived, my friend. I was trying to see if I had one in here, but I don't. I had to, I shot a couple of videos earlier today. I was feeling kind of frisky, shot a couple of videos. So the room is kind of discombobulated at the moment. You can't really see it from that angle, but it's a little bit of chaos in the front part here, but glad that your t-shirt arrived, my man. So again, if you guys want to talk about some stuff, let me know. What does this say? Congrats. Building a family is a much better experience than building a comic book collection, but let's hope you can, brother. I am doing both. And that's the thing is, I honestly have a very good life. I am very thankful for every single thing that I have. And the most important thing is not the things that are sitting in this room that are made of paper and plastic in here. The most important things are one of which just left out of here a couple of moments ago. And I think it's one of those things, when you've been through a couple of things, it makes you appreciate what's really important in life. And trust me when I tell you, I have no doubt about what is actually important. The comics are definitely cool, but the most important thing I will probably ever do in my life is help raise two just balanced and happy children. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely the goal. So major Grail pickups in 2019. I don't know if you're asking me. I can't even remember. It's all a blur. It's all a blur of money going out. I honestly don't even remember, to be honest with you. Man Bad is in the house. Where is he? Oh, there he is. How you doing, brother? It is good to see you, my friend. Happy holidays to you as well. I think did you send me an email earlier today? I want to say you sent me an email probably with your video of your room. It was a busy day with like family stuff. So I was like responding to people, not responding. It was like these big gaps in some of my communication with folks, but I do believe you sent me one of those. So what does this say? A quick question. So my parents live in the Bay Area, Concord. I'm going to be seeing them in February. What shops do you recommend? So out in Concord, I don't know of any great shops out there. There is, what is the name of that shop? Something Flags or another. They are the people that help start Free Comic Book Day. And I cannot think of the name of the shop, primarily because I didn't have the best experience in this particular shop. And it may have been the employees that were working there that day. I did not have the best experience there. One shop that I will recommend to you that is kind of sort of out there is Fantasy Books in Livermore. Bob is the owner. The shop has been there since the 80s. Bob is an old school guy, but I enjoy Bob. I picked up a lot of low number Amazing Spider-Man from Bob. If anybody's listening to this that is an Amazing Spider-Man fan, don't even bother going because I've already cleaned them out. The store is a treasure trove of great stuff, right? So Fantasy Books in Livermore, I definitely recommend that one. It's tough, man. I mean, you may have to come like to Oakland, and in Oakland there's Mr. Games and Mr. Comics or something like that. That's not bad. It's an old school shop. It's okay, but out in that area, it's tough. I honestly cannot think of a really great shop out in the Concord area. But what you can do is if you shoot me a message on Instagram or something like that, I can give you a couple of recommendations for where you might be able to go. And then if you also look at some of the hunting videos that I've done, I typically shoot in the shops and kind of sort of tell you where they are. So that also will help. But give me a buzz, man. Shoot me a message and I'll try to help you out as best I can. So scrolling down through the comments here. What is this? Here you go. Joe says, my son is an engineer and my daughter is in medical school. They are my pride and joy, man. I mean, to me, bro, that is a great thing right there to be able to say that, I don't know what the future holds for my children. I don't know if it's, engineering school or medical school or something like that. The goal is to make sure that they are happy, balanced people. You know what I'm saying? And if they surpass me in their career and ambitions, that is icing on the cake. And I know you're not saying anything different than that, but the goal, man, is just to make sure that they're happy. When my father, I think I mentioned this to you guys several times before, my father said something to me. He said, don't let anyone steal their joy, and that's a very powerful thing, because I remember the first time my son saw a giraffe and knew what it was. That was joy. It was joy for him. It was pure. And it actually made me look at the giraffe like, man, that giraffe is dope. And it's crazy how your children can give you a new lease on life, and the things that you take for granted, you don't take them for granted because they're seeing them with such fresh eyes. You know what I'm saying? And again, I hope that they grow up to be like super rich and wealthy. That way they can actually take care of me and allow me to continue buying comic books into my 90s and all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, man, I want happy children. I want happy, productive adults, you know, that come out of this factory that my wife and I are making. So my younger brother just got his master's degree. Definitely pumped about that. All four of my parents' children all have degrees. The two boys, myself and my brother, have masters, and we're pushing the two younger girls to go back and get their masters as well. And arguably, my younger sister's probably smarter than all of us. She's actually she's a little scary. So let me scroll down, see what you guys are talking about. Yeah, definitely. So Nick, hit me up, man, because again, there's a couple of really cool shops like down in the San Jose area for certain. There's Crush Comics, which I absolutely dig in Castro Valley. That is one of the shops that I go to almost weekly. There is Comic Figure and Addicts in Union City that I was at today. I definitely did that shop. Juan was actually on the show once before when we were talking about a comic book crash. There's a lot of really great places. There's a lot of okay places. So if you message me, I can definitely give you a little bit of guidance, especially if there's things that you're looking for. So Cool and Collected, he's up in that further north than I, and he likes A1. I've actually never been to A1. I've actually met the owner of A1 several times at several shows, but I've never bought anything from him. But I believe that he actually has 3 locations up in the Sacramento area. I have not been up there to go to a shop. I've been up there to pick up a couple of private collections, mostly last year, but I have not been to a shop, but I hope to be able to get up there one day to actually check out his shops. So scroll. Yeah, Pope there. I'm telling you, Bob and Fantasy, man. I'm telling you. So there's 2 shops. There's Fantastic Comics in Berkeley. I dig that place. Yule and his brother, fantastic. I've picked up a lot of really great books from them. If you're looking for some low number X-Men, you're looking for some Silver Age, Bronze Age stuff, they have a really awesome collection in right now. That's Fantastic Comics in Berkeley. But then there's Fantasy in Livermore with Bob. Love that shop too. What's great is I actually know a lot of the shop owners just because of like me being in there and shooting video and that kind of stuff. A lot of them are really awesome guys, and I will be happy to spend up your money, Nick. Happy to spend. Scrolling down to the comments here. Man, yeah, you know, we're actually going to go see my parents, man. We're going to try to go see them real soon and spend a little bit of time with them. And my parents, man, they I don't know. My parents, I've always been envious of the relationship that my parents have. They have a really fantastic relationship. I called my mom one day and I said, "Mom, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm just sitting here talking to your father." I said, "You just sitting there talking to him?" She's like, "Yeah, we're just sitting here chatting." I'm like, what y'all talking about? They just have a fantastic relationship, man. My parents, I used to have friends come over in high school, and after I left to go to college, some of our friends would still come over, and they just came over and hung out with my parents. They weren't looking for me. They came and hung out with my parents because my parents are really cool people. I'm still envious of how cool they are. I'm envious of the relationship they have, and you know, I continue to aspire to that kind of relationship. And again, it's not about money or any other kind of stuff. They are happy people, and they have a fantastic relationship, and it's impressive, man. It's impressive to see it. King of the Golden State, how you doing, brother? This dude is all over the Bay Area. So again, Nick, if you're looking for a place, King of the Golden State can also help you out. This dude's everywhere, so make sure you hit us up, man. We can definitely help you out as best we can. So scrolling down through some of the comments here. What is this? Chris says, "Well, I have 4 college classes down and haven't dropped out yet." There you go. Grad school is no joke. Just finished earlier this year. Got to stay focused. Congrats, man. I mean, I'm gonna tell you, my MBA. Excuse me, guys. One sec. So still trying to get over this cold. My apologies. Grad school, man, it can be tough. It can be tough, but I'm definitely pleased that I went back and, secured my MBA. It was definitely a good move for my career. Set a wonderful tone for me. So scrolling down through the comments here. Scrolling down. What does it say? Come on, Reggie, you'll be there. Man, I hope so. I hope so. I hope so. That is the goal. The thing about it is that it's a little bit different for me because, my mom had me when she was 17, right? So relatively young parent. I remember when my mom was 27. I remember when my mom was 42, right? 43. I remember all these ages. And it's a little bit different because I'm having kids at a different point in my life. But I think to some degree or another, it is a little bit of a state of mind. My mom is still energetic, still vibrant, still just full of life, wants to have a good time, just lives her life, and I think it's one of those things, man. If you want to get old, you can't stop your body, but I think you can stop your mind from getting old. And I think my parents have kind of maintained that youthful energy, man. And it's fantastic. And so again, I hope to be able to emulate. I hope to be able to emulate that as I continue to age right before your very eyes. Yes. Matthew. Yes. Well said, my friend. Well said. I wasn't going to say it, but you did. Brian, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you. What is this? What did he say? King of the Golden State. He says, good comics and good donuts across the way. There you go. Scrolling down through some of the comments here. So many cool places. Yes, there are. There are some fantastic places down in San Jose. I dig it down there. I've left a lot of great stacks of money down there, but I've also come back with some really great comics out of like the San Jose area. Love some hijinks over there. My man Neil runs hijinks. He tells some fantastic stories. So I definitely enjoy Neil, long-haired Neil. I enjoy him. I haven't been down there in quite some time, so I may have to swing back down there at some point. I remember one day I parked in his parking spot. That didn't go over so well with Neil. James O'Neill, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you, my friend. There are some shops. I mean, again, for me, when it comes to comics in the Bay Area, it depends on what you're looking for, right? If you're looking for a lot of Silver Age books, there are certain places you want to go to. If you're looking for modern books, you're looking for Bronze Age books, there's certain places you want to go to. Certain shops you have to go to at the right time, or else you will miss out on the good stuff. So there's also that element. And then there's just some shops where if you're looking for keys, they have keys. There are other shops, they have good books, but they don't have any keys. And so you've got to, if you know what you're looking for, people can kind of help guide you, because there's definitely some good stuff. Like, for example, Hijinks. Hijinks has a lot of books out, but unless you know where the good books are. So you might think that they're next to the register on the left-hand side. They're not. Those are the lower grade books. Neil keeps the good stuff behind the counter, and you have to ask Neil where are the good books. And if you're initially, he might guide you right to the left side of the register right there, where he has the books in the little display, and not the display, but the file cabinet thing. Those are not the really good books. The good ones behind the counters, and the really good ones are actually off site. So I'm just telling you now. Scrolling down through the comments. John's Comics with Kids. How you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Oh, don't come in here with that man wolf pack. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you. So Nick is asking if I'm keeping up with all the new X titles. He says they put them on his pull list. He just need to take some off so he can keep buying the old stuff. Let me show you something, brother. So I hadn't been to one of my shops. It seems like for maybe a month. And this was waiting for me. This is less than half of what I actually picked up today. These are all X titles right here. So I have been reading the X-Men, the Marauders, X-Force, Fallen Angels, New Mutants. Who did I forget in that rundown? Marauders, X-Men. I think that's everybody. Is that everybody? I think that's everybody. X-Force, New Mutants. I think that's everybody. Excalibur. And I'm actually thinking about doing a wrap-up video when I reach 5. Because if you guys remember, my commitment was to get 1 through 5 on my pull list, and then to make an evaluation on what I wanted to do with them. And I don't want to give it away, because then that would preempt my own video, right? But yes, I continue to buy them. And I will say that there have been some ups and downs in the series. There are some issues that are better than others. Some started off really rocky and have actually gotten better. Others started off really good and have gotten a little slower. It's a little bit of a mixed bag, but I will tell you, I enjoy being able to sit down and read basically, what is it, six X-Men related titles back to back. That's a lot of X, man. When was the last time we were able to read 6 X-Men titles back to back? I mean, seriously, like, when was the last time we did that? Maybe the 90s, maybe 92 for me. 93 was the last time I was actually able to do something like that. And the great thing about it is that they're actually good. They're actually good. Right. And so the struggle is real with those, because the thing is, to your point, you want to buy the old stuff, but then some of this new stuff continues to call your name, and you have to indulge, or potentially wait 6 months and actually read it on Marvel Unlimited, which is always a really fantastic option. So we will see. I don't want to give it away, Nick, because I'll again preempt myself if I keep talking. So we're going to change the subject. Oh no, Aaron Finkelstein says he dropped all but Excalibur and Marauders. Well, at least you kept Marauders, because from issue number 1, Marauders hands down has been the best read of them all. I have thoroughly enjoyed that. Unlike Excalibur, issue number 1 was nails on a chalkboard for me, but it has gotten better. It has gotten better. So I can't talk about this anymore. I'm gonna just give it all away. Scott, how you doing, brother? It's definitely good to see you. There you go. There we go. King of the Golden State says the 90s. I'm telling you, it has been, and that's why someone said something the other day. Someone asked me, it was Comic Book Collection Agency, was like, what is one of the best books that you've read this year? Without pausing, I said the best book was basically House of X. And part of the reason why I said that is not just because of the book itself, right? But it's been because of what that book and what Jonathan Hickman and his compatriots have been able to do for Marvel. It's not a major crossover event where there's all these tentacles spreading out. It's been one comprehensive story that has been told that has gotten people excited about arguably the best team in comics. Arguably the best team in comics is the X-Men, and people are excited about the X-Men like they haven't been in a very, very long time. So to me, that is a powerful thing, and it started with House of X. You have 6 X-Men titles that are dope, and you have more coming. You have Giant Size X-Men, Wolverine in February. You have all this other stuff that is coming, and it all started where? With House of X, right? Over 200,000 copies of House of X #1 that sold. That's actually a pretty respectable number, especially when you think about the digital age that we're in right now, and all of the people, bootlegging comics and stuff like that. 200,000 is a respectable number to have sold. That's why I said that House of X was just a great book to drop. I definitely enjoyed it. So scrolling down through some of the comments, seeing what else you guys, Aaron Finkelstein. The problem that I had, see, I can't talk about this. You're going to get me all fired up. Aaron Finkelstein's going to get me all fired up about this topic, and I can't do it. Let's talk about something. Back in the 90s, when I was into Generation X, X-Men, Uncanny, there you go. That was a good time. That right there was a good time. I never really read Generation X, but all the other stuff. I mean, I can still close my eyes right now, and I can actually see pages from Jim Lee's Extinction Agenda with Cameron Hodge and Wolverine. That to me is the quintessential 90s right there. Cameron Hodge, when he was that hybrid animated, robot thing, right? And we had the mutates or whatever they were called, when Storm had the tattoos and all that crazy stuff and the shaved head. That to me was just a fantastic time for X-Men and X-Men related titles. I was loving every moment of what was happening back then. Scrolling down, what books am I looking forward to in the new year? So I think I'm definitely looking forward to some of the things that Jonathan Hickman is doing, to the point that I was just making, because I think Jonathan Hickman is continuing to lay the foundation for something major that's actually going to happen. So the Giant Size X-Men stuff that he is going to be working on, I'm definitely looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to Wolverine coming back and in his own solo series. I am generally a fan of Wolverine in team books, not so much his solo titles. I enjoy him in a team book, and I'm hoping that they can actually make some magic happen with him in his solo series, kind of like what happened in the limited series. I love the limited series, the ongoing series black cover, not so much. The limited orange cover, great, right? So I'm excited about that. I don't spend a whole lot of time reading previews magazine, so I don't know what all is coming out, but I will say I've been reading this Gung Ho from Ablaze. Looking forward to seeing where that goes. I read Philadelphia, and which also Philadelphia was just optioned for, I guess, a TV show on Netflix. Who knows whether it will ever see the light of day? But I read Philadelphia based upon like 3 or 4 of you that recommended reading that. It was good. Philadelphia was good. I did not like the script writing that they did later on in the issue. It was like handwritten. I did not enjoy that. I don't like handwritten fake stuff. Just give me the text. I don't like the handwritten stuff. Just give me the regular text so I can read that. And Philadelphia was something that I enjoyed. Outside of that, again, I don't know what all is coming out in the new year. I'm sure I'll start to pay attention here at some point, but that's just a couple of things that I'm excited about. The Giant Size X-Men, the Wolverine series, Philadelphia, Gung Ho. Those are a couple that I'm excited about. And to be honest with you, there's a lot of really cool stuff that's happening in the X title. So I'm definitely pumped to see where those go. Fingers crossed that Amazing Spider-Man actually gets better, because it's not quite better just yet. And I think that's probably it. That's probably it off the top of my head. Oh, the Thor has Donny Cates started writing that yet? Is that out? If that's out, I want to read that. I do want to read that, because I started reading some of the Jason Aaron's Thor, and I actually enjoyed it. I am not a Thor fan, but I gave it a chance, and it was actually pretty darn good. And I like Donny Cates. Donny Cates is taking over Thor. There's an opportunity for him to make some magic, given that he and Jason Aaron are friends or whatever. I think I would definitely check that one out. So Philadelphia is dope. I have 2 copies of it on reserve, 2 extra copies that I haven't picked up. I was in the shop today, spent a ton of money. I was at the door. My dude was like, "Hey, I have a couple of extra copies. Do you want them?" I was like, "Stick them in the box. I'll get them next time." But Philadelphia, I enjoy it. If you get a chance, check that one out. Scrolling down through scrolling down through Thor Donny Cates, scrolling down through the comments here. I haven't seen many of the Wolverine exclusives, to be honest with you, but I'm actually looking for that. Looking forward to seeing what they look like. Okay, so Josh is saying that Thor 1 drops in January, so I'm definitely going to check that out. I hope his name is not Donald. I really do. I think Donnie is so much better, especially with his punk rocker hair and all the stuff. I think Donnie is a much better look for him. Scrolling down, which new comic books do you think might get famous? I don't know how to answer that question. That's actually a tough question to answer, to be honest with you. My man Randy is telling me, thank you, brother. I definitely appreciate that. Randy Snake, y'all. Stand up. Stand up. I don't know which books might get. It's tough. It's tough. I mean, the problem is I don't think anybody really knows that, right? I mean, I was actually when I heard that Philadelphia was actually optioned, I started to give some thought to doing a video in which I actually looked at comics that had been optioned over this last year, and actually, whether they had been turned into something or not. So like, for example, what happened with The Boys, because that was picked up. Raising Dion, for example, the Philadelphia. I wanted to kind of look at some of these properties that have been optioned, and whether they had turned into something and materialized or not. I wanted to look at what the price of those books were before the mention of the option, at the option phase, at the point at which something had been created, or a period in which some time had gone by. And I wanted to kind of see what happened with those books. And then I got a little lazy and decided not to do it. But but I thought that it might be an interesting analysis to do, because in my head, I feel like there's probably going to be some patterns to this, right? There's probably going to be some patterns to what happens with these comics, similar to what happens with other comics that are, attached to movies, right? There's going to be some baseline stuff. There's going to be a spike when the option is picked up. There's going to be probably a precipitous drop off after a certain period of time, especially if nothing happens. Then I'm guessing there's going to be another drop the further out you move away from that line. And then I'm guessing that there's going to be another spike when something actually does happen, right? So my guess, for example, is that The Boys spiked when season 1 came out. And because people were now, oh my God, The Boys is actually a comic book. So people went out and bought it. Same thing with Raising Dion. And then my guess is that there's a little bit of drop off that happens after that. And then there's maybe another spike when season 2 gets announced or something like that. And so I'm waiting to see, I wanted to do this analysis to see what the data actually looked like, but maybe somebody out there will be inspired to actually do this now, because I'm super lazy about it. But I was watching this show. I think it was The Witcher on Netflix. And what they were saying about that is that this game actually came from a game. This show has inspired people to start playing the game again. And I guess there were the max number of people that had been playing the game at one point was like 15,000 individuals or something like that. And when the TV show dropped, it spiked to 60,000 concurrent players all of a sudden because the show was out. And it's amazing, right? And the question is, what is that pattern going to look like over time? Is there's going to be that precipitous drop off as it reaches the end of the season or whatever it happens to be? But it's just, it's an interesting phenomenon. And people are always like, well, what do you think is going to happen? I have no clue. I don't have no clue. But to me, that's also what makes all of this really cool and exciting, because we don't know. And there are things that are out there that are obscure, that will continue to be obscure and worthless, but potentially awesome. And there's going to be some things that are garbage, that are mainstream, that are going to be picked up and are going to spike in value, and they're not going to be all that great to read. It's just one of those things we really don't know. So what is this? Raising Deanna is a print-on-demand comic. Can't see it sticking much. I actually didn't know that. Is it? I actually someone sent me issue number 1. I did not know that it was a print-on-demand. I did not know that. The Witcher, man, I'm on episode 3 or something like that. It's okay. It's not great. Option is exactly the word. Don't get too excited. Well said, my friend, because it may never actually happen, right? What was it? Rob Liefeld had that 7-figure deal for his universe. And then, a year goes by and then you hear that the universe is never going to come to reality, and he's moved on from Netflix and he's now shopping it somewhere else. You never know with any of this stuff. So this is a show that I've actually been watching. If you guys haven't seen this one, man, let me tell you, Lost in Space is fantastic. I absolutely love this show. I started watching this thing when it dropped last year. I think it was last year when it first dropped. It was awesome. And so I was one of those people like, man, are they bringing season 2 back? Where's season 2? And then I saw the other day, they were saying on the 24th of this year, season 2 is coming back. And I'm not going to lie. I binge watched. I was sick and I binge watched, and I do not regret it because I've already finished the season and it is really good. So if you haven't seen Lost in Space, I definitely encourage you to check it out for certain. Sorry about that. Still trying to get over this cold. Can't wait for Punisher and Daredevil series to come back on Disney Plus, maybe in a couple of years. Fingers crossed that happens. That would be awesome if it happens. Netflix show is all right so far. Not a fan. Yeah, I think I'm on episode 3. And the struggle is real. I feel like I've missed something, right? And does anybody know whether there was a movie before? Because I want to say that there was a movie, and I feel like they created this show almost from the vantage point of a fan of the game or someone that has watched the TV show before, because I feel lost. I feel like I did in Excalibur 1. I feel lost like I was reading Excalibur 1, where I felt like if you are not one of the 5 people that is an Excalibur fan, you are lost. I'm joking. Not really. Excalibur 1 was not very good. The subsequent issues have gotten better, but in all seriousness, I felt a little lost in watching Witcher, and it's gotten a little bit better, but still, I don't know. I don't know about that one. I don't know. I think there's some benefit to actually, baselining some of these things that get rolled out to allow people to onboard with them a little bit easier versus jumping in so deeply and forcing people to catch up. And the grunting is not a good look. The grunting, no. The grunting does not work for me. And I think we have just reached the end where I can actually see all the various comments that are actually being made in real time. So I'm actually going to Aaron Finkelstein. I'm sorry, brother. He's mad. I'm not going to talk about Excalibur anymore. No more. Wilson says, stick with it. The show gets better. He did though. Okay. All right. So I am going to stick with it. Yeah, I think I've already, is the Mandalorian done now? I think I've reached the end of the Mandalorian. It is really, really good. The Mandalorian was fantastic. We're not talking about that because it's just fantastic. Lost in Space. I don't know if it's from the 50s. I feel like it was earlier than that, or I'm sorry, later than that. But this is not your grandmother's Lost in Space. This is actually some dope magic. The robot does not have those things, those rain gutter things that are kind of flexible hoses. He does not have those for arms. This robot is actually an alien robot that is a killing machine. I'm telling you, if you haven't seen this, watch it, because it is honestly fantastic. It is honestly. So scrolling down through, what is this? Thanatos says definitely should have helped explain the timeline changes in each episode. Just have to look at each episode as its own story. See, that's super helpful. See, I didn't even think about that. Thank you, Bearded Comic Collector. I appreciate you, Jerry. Scrolling down through the comments here. Scrolling down. Oh, sorry. I should have said that. My bad. Scrolling down, King Golden State's reminding me, no spoilers, my bad. More like danger, Reggie Simmons. Don't jack up the storyline for people who haven't seen it yet. Oh, man. There we go. Joe says it was from the 60s. Okay. All right. I will definitely defer. Oh, no, because it was originally, you guys were saying 50s. So I felt like it was not the 50s. I felt like it was a little bit later than that. But again, I actually enjoyed it. I enjoyed the 60s show, to be honest with you. I watched a lot of that stuff, whether it was MASH or some of that other stuff. I watched a lot of that stuff with my grandmother. So I definitely enjoyed that. Los, how you doing, brother? I got your video earlier today. So definitely thank you for that. Definitely appreciate that. Randy Brown says, just found your channel a week ago. So awesome. Randy, it is nice to have you here, my friend. We have a good time over here, man. I think that over the last, 2 year that we've really been doing this thing, I think that we have been able to build, I think, a really cool community. A lot of people come and hang out and have a good time, and that's what this is all about. No agendas, pardon the pun with the name, but no agendas, just trying to have a lot of fun and enjoy one another's company. So Los, there you go. Thank you, brother. I definitely appreciate that. Scrolling down through the comments here. So Witcher is a series of novels. There you go. Scrolling down, MASH was one of the greatest TV shows ever. I loved it. So what is this? So here we go. I'll show that for King of the Golden State. That's what I know it as, a video game, because that was what I saw as I was kind of doing some of my research. So Matthew, I see your comment. Thank you, brother. I have not had a chance to pull it down. I haven't looked yet, but thank you there very much for sending that in. So tomorrow is the deadline for a couple of people reminding me here. I am actually trying to do a little bit of a project in which I asked people to actually show me around their comic book room, show me their comic book space, whether it has to be like a dedicated space. It doesn't have to be like this perfect, immaculate thing with like lights and all that kind of stuff. But I wanted to do a project in which people showed their space, and there is something that I am going to do with those videos. So I think right now, I probably have about 12 or 13 people that have sent videos in, and I've kind of lost track because some people sent me videos knowing that they could not be in the running because they were outside the United States, but they still wanted to contribute. And so I'll be using their footage possibly for B-roll or something like that. But there were a lot of people that sent in videos that were inside the United States that, had their 5-minute videos and that kind of stuff. So the cutoff for that is tomorrow. And I'm going to be doing something with those videos moving forward. So definitely stay tuned. Probably only about 4 of them or so. But definitely stay tuned for stay tuned for that. I'm gonna show that comic because I actually love MASH. So stay tuned for that. And just as a quick reminder, this is the book that we are actually giving away this week as part of the Go Collect giveaway. Huge shout out to the folks over at Go Collect who constantly hook us up and put us in a position to be able to buy these awesome books and be able to give them away here on the channel. So this book will be awarded to one lucky subscriber this week. This is 9.8 of Dark Hawk #1 from 1991. Talk about my childhood right here. This is going to be somebody's book. I'm going to be giving it away very, very soon. So if you have not yet found the video that I released at some point this week with a phrase that you need to enter the contest, you definitely want to go back and take a look at the videos that came out this week, starting on Monday, always at 3:30, and the videos will be released all the way through Friday at 3:30. So there you go. All right. So again, I cannot see any of my comments over there, so I have to pop over here. What is this? I agree, Joe. Reggie should come back east. I missed the whole comment. I was too busy running my mouth. So what was the comment about coming back east? It's tough because it's hard for me to track the comments as well over here. So, Willie, thank you for stopping by, brother. I definitely appreciate that. Get some rest. Scrolling down through the comments here. What is this? I love that countdown to the show opener in season 3, Lost in Space as a kid. Scrolling down through the comments, trying to read all these things. Scrolling down. Joe says, love the channel, but here in New York, you are taking up much of my sleep time. Brother, I actually respect that comment. I respect that. I'm actually off from work, so I am full of energy and all that good stuff. But yeah, I definitely get it. I know that it's hard for you folks over on the East Coast. And part of what I wanted to do while I had this time off was actually go live at like midday or earlier in the day. So it would help out people not just on the East Coast, but also in other countries who choose to participate or want to participate in the live streams, but can't because of the time of day in which I choose to do them or have to do them because of life. But illness got a hold of me. So there may be a chance that I'll go live tomorrow. Now that I'm feeling better, I may go live. So, hey, Scott, don't talk about Dark Hawk. Dark Hawk is dope, bro. The 90s. Come on now. What is this? Thunder God 75 Comics says, I have to stay up late to get my dose of Reggie, but love the comic knowledge. Yes, man. I definitely appreciate that, brother. Time difference between the West and East Coast. Scrolling down through the comments. You guys are awesome. All right. So I am now sweating profusely, trying to maintain my heat and my temperature, and I'm just all off because of this illness and the fact that my wonderful wife actually got me something awesome for Christmas. She picked me up this mat that is literally under my feet right now. It is a rubber mat that I put my feet on that is actually a heated heated mat, because my feet are always cold. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, you know I'll be at work and I'll take a photo of my heater with my feet next to it because my feet are always cold. And so for the comic book room, she has this new mat that I put down here. And between the mat, the illness, and the lights, I don't know whether I'm cold or hot. I'm just all off. Oh, you guys are hilarious. You guys are hilarious. What is this? Oh, have some Dayquil. Man, I took some NyQuil the other night, and I slept until 9 o'clock a.m. I have not slept that long since before I had children. It's been at least 5 years since I've done that. So it was much needed rest, to be honest with you. So I am going to wrap this thing up. I will probably go live tomorrow, possibly during the day, to take it easy on the folks on the East Coast, and maybe we'll do a giveaway or something like that live during the day. So definitely stay tuned for that. I'm actually going to put up a post in a couple of minutes on the community tab. And if you guys have a couple of moments, swing by. I'm definitely looking for some input from you all on the community tab on this post that I'm going to put up, because I welcome you all's thoughts, inputs, and suggestions for the channel. So definitely stay tuned for that. All right. So with that, I am going to wrap this thing up. I want to thank you all for spending a little bit of your evening with me. I hope that everyone out there had a fantastic and Merry Christmas. For those of you that had to work today or have to work tomorrow, my thoughts are with you. Hopefully you get some time to continue enjoying the holiday spirit and some time to enjoy your families and all that good stuff. But if you guys need to reach out to me, like you, Nick, if you need to reach out to me, feel free to do so at Regie Collects on Instagram or Regie@regiecollects.com. Take care.